Anthony Davis is not what you would call your everyday basketball player. I mean, the dude grew from 6'3" to 6'10" within a matter of a year. But what you know about him now is completely different than what you don't know about him. And today we're going to talk about the man who grew from 6'3" to 6'10", the side of Anthony Davis y'all don't know about. But it's your boy Lakers Show 12 back with another video today. So I guess I'm doing more NBA videos. I mean, it hit some views, it hit some numbers, and you know what I mean? So I hope this one hits better numbers than all my other videos, you know? So we're gonna talk about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis plays for my hometown team. Well, New Orleans. I ain't from New Orleans, but I live in Louisiana. New Orleans Pelicans. We're really gonna I hope y'all can. We just really talk about him. I'm just trying not to mess up like I was doing in yesterday's video, but it's just gonna come again better at this. I need to get a mic, like a regular mic that I can put down and I had around my head. I can really get comfortable whenever I like talk about Anthony Davis. But you know, it is what it is, dog. So Anthony Davis, we all know him. He's known for his tenacious rebounding, his ability to block anybody around the rim, anybody who comes his ball, and he's really developed a game to where he can shoot from the outside. But Anthony Davis was not always a dominant player, what you think he was. He was just a regular kid at the age of 17, 16 to be exact. Anthony Davis was by far, you know, a regular high school kid, a regular height for his age. Well, not really regular. He was like 6'2", 6'3", you know. And now we're going to begin high school for Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis came into his high school season. His first year, he was 6'3". You know, we all know that story. You know, in middle school, Anthony Davis, where he was from, they didn't have a gymnasium. They didn't have a gym. They didn't have a team, basically. So in junior high, you know, he was known as the little guy who would shoot threes. You know, they said he could shoot threes when he was, you know, regular. But when he was like regular, well, when he was regularly his age, he was just normal for his age, you know. His freshman year, he was 6 foot, you know. But by the beginning of his sophomore year, he had grown another inch. But then, the end of his sophomore year, he finished about 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", you know. Just a regular high school, you know, high school thing. But he grew, you know. So they said he had a regular frame for his body, you know. For a 6'3" teen, that's a point guard. He played point guard. But the summer going into junior year, something happened that we don't know about, literally. Anthony Davis grew a whole 6 inches. He grew to 6'8", 6'8", and now he became a power forward. So that really opened the eyes of scouts, you know. He only had one scholarship offer leading up to this, and that was from Cleveland State, the only D1 college who had interest in a 6'3" point guard. But now it all drastically changed. So he ended his high school career. Well, his senior year, he put up stellar numbers. I don't know the number, but we all know it was stellar. He grew another inch his senior year. He was 6'9". So at this time, he already had scholarship offers from Kentucky, DePaul, Ohio State, and Syracuse. He had official visits from DePaul, Ohio State. He would visit them. But on August 24, 2010, he became the #1 rated player in the class of 2011. So Anthony Davis really became that guy. He became that guy. And that guy he became. What become with that guy, it became a lot of hype. It became a lot of expectations, and he had to live up to it. But on August 13, 2010, he verbally committed to Kentucky. So there's a new chapter in his life. He already grew 9 inches. Going into college, he already grew another inch, so he was officially 6'10". So then Anthony Davis had to live up to these expectations.
A 6'10" freshman from Chicago, Illinois, number 23, Anthony Davis.
So Anthony Davis played all 40 games in his college career. In his college career, he averaged 14 points, 4 blocks, 10 rebounds. Those numbers were just unbelievably for a freshman coming out of Chicago, Illinois, who just had to adapt to this new playing style. He was a point guard, now playing center in college. He led his team to the national championship in 2011. Anthony Davis would just take the college nation by storm. He put the numbers like that most people couldn't see coming. He was rewarded the John R. Wooden Award, the Associate Press Conference Player of the Year Award, Oscar Robertson Trophy, Sporting Newsman's College Player of the Year, and P. Newell Big Man Award, just to name a few awards that he had. Anthony Davis it was unbelievable that he even had the ability to even do that. But those awards didn't stop there though. They didn't. Because 2012 was a new year. Well, 2012, it went into 2012. And he did lead his team to the championship and they won it. He was consensus National Player of the Year, consensus First Team All-American, NABC Defensive Player of the Year, USBW National Freshman of the Year, SEC Player of the Year, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and Jordan Brand Classic Co-MVP. Those numbers. Oh, not to mention, in the tournament, he was NCAA Final Four Outstanding Player and he was NCAA Champion. I don't know if they had MVP for that. I'm not sure. But if he did, he probably won it. He didn't really have a good, it was a pretty good, it was for a college player that had just adapted to a new playing style. He was already out there blocking shots. I mean, come on, the guy put up 4 blocks a game, dog. 4 blocks? Are you serious, dog? Like, he deserves every bit of respect, and even the hype that he had, he lived up to it. Some were thinking bust, maybe. Some weren't thinking it. He was just playing ball. He didn't care what nobody said. You guys, I'm sorry if my mic making like a thingy noise. I'm sorry. I had to go back and see if it's still making it. Let me know. I can fix that. But yeah, back I was saying about Anthony Davis. Back to Anthony Davis. He was so unbelievably gifted at the college level that he had to declare for the draft. He was a one and done. His first year, he declared for the draft, and without a doubt, we all know who was going first overall pick that year.
With the first pick in the 2012 NBA Draft, the New Orleans Hornets select Anthony Davis.
So, the kid who was only 6'3" his freshman year, who grew and grew, finally made it to where he always wanted to be, and that's the NBA. And the one thing that Anthony Davis was gifted that most people in this draft class didn't have was the ability to stay humble and not pay attention to what anybody had to say. He was so humble that he had remarks from Shaq, Jalen Rose, and Charles Barkley. Those 3 legends right there. They said just one thing about Anthony Davis that made him so humble. And they said, this kid is humble. Just those 3 words. That set Anthony Davis to his rookie season, knowing that he has people knowing and that are behind him in this. But back his rookie season, it wasn't the best. He had a little bit of injuries, but it was a decent rookie year. He didn't win Rookie of the Year though. But his rookie season, he averaged 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.8 blocks. That's pretty good for a rookie center coming out of his first season in college. So Anthony Davis would finish his rookie season out. He finished rookie season. He was NBA All-Rookie First Team. So he did get some honors, but he did not win Rookie of the Year. Maybe because he would have played in all 82 games, even 70 games. Maybe he could have got it. But it's alright though. You know what I mean? He only played in I think it was 64 games. He didn't play in all 82. So if he would have, maybe, but the Pelicans were promised. They were a promised franchise. He can do it. This is not about anybody else. If I'm making just about Anthony Davis, He had to win. He known as he was young, he had to make up for everything that he didn't have growing up. You know, struggling family, you know. But Anthony Davis would make sure that what he promised his mom was that he would make it to the NBA and get her out of the hood. He did that. That's all he wanted to do for her. But, you know, eventually his rookie campaign did finish up. They did not make the playoffs, of course. Then, you know, the Hornets. But his next season, Anthony Davis would become Anthony Davis. His second year, he finished his year off averaging 20 points per game, 10 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks. Wow. Sorry if my mic keep cutting off. Keep dying, my controller. So Anthony Davis, the unibrow, became the unibrow. He showed everybody that he was here to stay. And to stay he was. So his next 2 seasons, as the Pelicans did get moved the next year, he averaged 24 points per game in both of his next 2 seasons, 2 blocks, and 10 rebounds. So he was pretty consistent with his numbers. His numbers stayed consistent, you know, the next couple years. And then last season, he averaged 28 a game, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Pretty similar to what he's averaging right now, and it's probably the exact same thing. Unbelievable for a kid. I mean, this story is unbelievable. I can really go more into detail with it, but I couldn't gather all the information that I wanted about Anthony Davis, you know. But, you know, Anthony Davis holds records too I didn't talk about, you know. He holds like the record for the most blocks in a season in college, you know. The single seasons. He passed up Melvin Turbin and Andre Reddick. They had 83. He had 87. You know, he's unbelievable, man. Now that him and Boogie are together, maybe Boogie can make him a better center, you know. Anthony Davis did never want to play center. They made him play center. He's truly a power forward that can score, you know. I just went recently see him in person. You know, he's gifted, and he's potential to become the greatest power forward of all time. I know it's too early to say, you know. And you know the scary part about all of this about Anthony Davis? You know the real problem people will have with him right now? The problem is he's only 25 years old. 25 years old, dog? He's not even in his prime yet, and he's putting up numbers to such as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Karl Malone. That's who he's up there with in his numbers. Anthony Davis will become one of the greatest of all time if he plays the same way he's playing. He stay injury free and healthy. Anthony Davis has potential to become probably the greatest shot blocker, scorer, rebounder of all time, all in one. Mark my words when I say that Anthony Davis, he may not be MVP this year because James Harden, you know, James Harden really has that in the bag. But next season, if he puts up 28, 10, and 2 again, he's MVP. Without a doubt. They can't rob Harden again, probably most likely not. Anthony Davis deserves every bit of respect that he gets. I still think he don't get talked about enough for what he does for his team. He says he wants to stay in New Orleans, you know. I think that's smart. You know, maybe they can come recruit another point guard because, you know, I don't know how long they want to keep Drew Holiday, but they just signed him to a contract recently, or a couple years ago. So, only time can tell. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, dog. I think I'm getting better with this, you know. I think I'm getting better with this, just the way I talk. I didn't mess up that much this video. But yeah, if you like more NBA content or Madden, I say Madden, NBA or NFL content, I will bring that for y'all. Documentary, not documentary, but like, you know, life stories, anything conspiracy y'all want me to talk about, and either one. Let's get 5 likes. We got 5 likes in the video yesterday. Let's get on this video today. Subscribe for more NBA content if you like what you see. And I'm out.